Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I am working today in my Lavender Tea journal that is a design team project for creating with Jovi. All the links, as usual, will be down in the description box. And today I want to focus on what to do with a page that is either something that you can't write on, it's ugly, or unusable in any other way. Like we often put pages like this in journals, don't we? Like it's got a beautiful picture on one side, but this calendar page, well, for one, it's upside down. Two, you could write on it. It's not impossible, but it's not particularly appealing, is it? It's not very practical. It's not appealing. It's not pretty. So let's dress it up a bit. So my goal today is to show you one idea on how to deal with a page like this. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you find it useful. And I'm going to start. I've got several sort of things planned to get this page to where I want it to be. So hopefully we've got time to do it all. I'm going to start with this. This is a sheet off the back of a napkin. So paper, napkin, serviette. This is one of the backing sheets, one of the white. This has a light pattern from the napkin. It's got butterflies and flowers on it. I'm not worried about that. It is in blues and oranges. Not worried about that. I'm going to take a couple of ink pads here. I've got my wee Versacolor lavender and I've got my Ranger Archival ink in violet. So I'm going to start with the light one. I'm not sure how well this is going to work on this, how juicy it is. It's quite pale. Okay, it's okay if I give it a good press. Can you see how I'm picking up some of that colour? So this is something I've done on video before. Oh, Kelly, you want cuddles? It's not a good time, my love. Mummy just started her video. So this is the process, is you just sort of scrunch it up, move it around and dip it in whatever colour ink you would like. So, oh, she's just knocking everything over and she's got a paw on my hip because she wants cuddles. Sorry, my darling. Oh, she's nice and warm. Just reached down to pat her. She's hopped down now because she didn't like that she was making everything fall. Oh, my darling. She hasn't had cuddles this morning. It's just not great timing. Crafting with cats, eh? Yeah, she'll go have a snack. She'll probably come back and want cuddles, so snuggles. No. Sorry. Why is it lately that the cats have waited until I've started recording to start getting up to mischief? Anyway, so this is the process. I'm going to try and ignore it while keeping an eye on them to make sure they don't scrap. You'll hear it if they do, because Kelly will growl and scream and get upset. Snuggles, you're being a brat. Right, so we've got some of that light purple on there. Not a huge amount, just little patches. I could go more, but I know this is, I haven't had it long, so it's practically brand new and it's really juicy. And see how it's picking up that colour really easy. I'm not pushing down hard on this one. I'm just lightly dabbing, just turning around. Very quick, easy process to just dress up some of that white tissue backing that, you know, turns it into something really pretty and usable for texture and colour. So I'm just trying to do this quickly so we can cover what I want to get covered. Oh, while keeping an eye on cats. Does that happen in your house? You go to do something and that's when the cats or the dogs or the kids or whatever it is suddenly wants something or decides to do something noisy. It seems to be my lot this year so far, and we're only into, what, I'm recording this on the 3rd. You'll see it on the 4th, so 4 days into the new year. think they're used to, with hubby and I both being home over the Christmas and New Year break, I think they're used to us being around, so they've just been a bit more present, I guess, like we have, a bit more present. Right, open it out, see how we're going. We're doing pretty well, just a few more spots. And it pretty much dries straight away because we're not doing a thick, heavy coating of ink. My hands might be a bit purple at the end, but seem to be okay. So I wanted something I could use in this journal that would give me some collage options and such like. So I think that's enough. We will go with that. So my first thing with this page is I'm going to put a pocket on it, a side pocket I think. But then that leaves me, if I've got my pocket here, this leaves me this area, which is not terribly attractive. So I thought if I did some of this napkin with the ink, so now I'm just spreading it out a little bit, and collage that onto the page. So we can still see the numbers, which is fine. That does not worry me. And I'm going to go quite a wee way across the page so it will go in under the pocket. I'm just tearing it, and it's tearing actually fairly well. Probably won't this way. No, it's a bit more raggedy this way, but that's okay. Doesn't matter if it doesn't cover the whole page. Right. I've also been through my stash and pulled out every scrap of purple themed or coloured scrapbook paper that I could find. So I've got that to my right to use as well. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with glue stick. Actually, I might need something behind there just to catch any glue overrun. There's a hole there from that calendar hanging hole. Just cover that all in glue stick. Straight into my book. And do I want to put that raggedy edge? I think I do. Let's have a bit of interest. See those numbers peeking out, even if they're upside down. So as I push it down, you can see the numbers are still very visible. But they just add a layer of detail. Right, so just need to go in along this edge, I think. I'm going to have to wait for this glue to dry so it doesn't actually glue my pocket shut when I put it on. That wouldn't be ideal, would it? Excuse me. I don't know if you heard that. You probably did. That was Snuggles making a go at Kelly. And Kelly was not happy. So had to deal with that. Couldn't let that resolve itself. I mean, it would. If we weren't here, it would resolve itself. But, you know, I am here. So I rescued my baby Kelly. And told Snuggles to go back to bed, which she has. Oh, fun and games. Hopefully now all peaceful reign for the rest of the video. It's never a dull moment, is there? Particularly once you turn on the camera. Right, I'm just going to trim off this here at the bottom. It's raining today. Very misty rain, but quite constant. I put that bit of paper away a little too soon. Just got a little patch down here that's not glued. Yeah, so it's a bit cooler. You can tell by my sleeves that I've got on. It's a bit cooler. But not cold, not really cold. Not like winter cold, it's just like summer cold. It's, you know, it's okay. It's fine. Right, so there we go. I think that glue that I overshot on will be fine. Just once it's got time to dry, it should be fine. Should be. And I've got a little overhang here at the top, I see, so let's just take care of that as well. Oops, I'm cutting into the page a little bit. It feels very awkward, a bit kick-handed somehow. There we go. Done. All neatened up. And it all just gives that glue a bit more time to dry, so that's fine. Okay, now for my pocket, I have a couple of options here of some painty papers that I've made. This one was done on the jelly print with some strips cut off of a wire bound book. So that's what the pattern was made, and it's you know, it's got some purple sort of vibes going on. Or there's this book page which I've watercolored on. I'm not sure which one. I'm just going to turn it around so I can see. I think I like this one better for this. So I'm going to, it's quite thin, it's just butcher paper. The paint does give it a little bit extra support, but it's still reasonably thin. So I'm going to fold under the edge like so. And this is longer than I need, but I'm just going to go ahead and glue the whole thing down before I cut it. Oops, there's a little bug running around my desk. Get rid of that. I think it looked like an ant, which is weird. We don't have ants inside here. I know some areas have ants, you know, ant issues, but not here. They're outside, but you don't see them a lot, and so it's quite surprising to see one running around my table. Right. Maybe it's got something to do with the weather. Right, so that's going to be the edge of our pocket, reinforced. So that's going to go down there. How wide do we want it? Let's do it about, oops, probably need to do it on the other side so I can actually see my mark. About there-ish will do. Just going to tear it. That I don't know if you can see that on my mat, but where I folded that paper, it goes, it's not straight, but it doesn't matter. It will be fine. It just adds a bit of interest, I think, on the page. So that's mark there. So I'm just going to go a little bit wider because, you know, why not? Got space to play with, so no biggie. And that kink might actually end up being cut off anyway. So I need to trim it at the top because it is not straight at the top. So let's take a bit off there. And then let's measure the height of the page. Let's again turn it over so I can see my mark. Always good. And there. So very simple pocket. Could use scrapbook paper, any scrap of paper that you like. Right. Okay. Now, do I want a thumb notch? Because if I do, I would prefer to put it in now. I think a thumb notch gives that added extra little detail, doesn't it? It's not essential. It just gives an extra something. Hopefully the glue is dry. I'm going to put it up towards the top. Oh, that was not a good idea. Does not like this paper at all. Okay, let's just cut a little semicircle out with our scissors. And probably the glue is still wet as well. So double trouble. Here we go. I mean, if you don't have a circle punch, you can just cut a little semicircle out and it works perfectly well. As you can see by that, I just ended up cutting it out with the scissors and it's fine. Now I'm wondering, do I need to further reinforce this or will it be okay? I'm going to go with it. I'll probably be decorating up the surface of it anyway with something, so that will add a bit of extra support. I should have put another bit of paper, like a bit of photocopy paper or something in when I went to punch it, and it would have been fine. Never mind. Snuggles, the naughty little brat, is headed off outside to see if she can chase Kelly, but Kelly will be long gone. She wouldn't have hung around to be bothered. So that's fine. Snuggles can go out. She's not going to find Kelly. Or if she does, they actually get on better outside than they do inside. It's weird. Yesterday they were nose to nose sniffing each other and no worries at all. But when it comes to inside, Kelly seems to be the target to annoy. Right. Sorry for clearing my throat all the time. I just seem to be a bit throaty still. Maybe something to do with the cooler day today. So this is my little bag of fussy cuts from the kit, from the Lavender Tea kit. Oh, I like that right there. Do I want a bit of book page behind it maybe? Here we go. Here's a bit of gardening book page, which is probably quite appropriate for the lavender prompt. Just very roughly tearing out this because I've got so much of it. It's like I'm starting to not be precious about things where there's no need, because I've got this is a whole big book and I've got lots of it, so I don't need to be precious with it. Now, do I want to cover up that much? Because that's covering that whole mark, but it does kind of look cool, doesn't it? And it will reinforce that pocket, and I've still got this yellow down here, so I'm going to go with it. But I do think I am going to ink the edges. Grab out a brush. Sorry about the cellophane noise if that's annoying to you, but just to keep everything together, I keep them in the cellophane bag just so I don't have them running around, and then when I go to look for them I can't find them because they're all scattered and caught under things, whereas if they're all together in one bag, then I'm looking for something that's larger. And if they were all loose, I'd, you know, find one and go, oh good, I found one, and then it would be the wrong colour. Because I don't clean these, I try and keep them to their colour profile that I've used them for. So this one will become the purple brush, unless I wash it, which might happen, but probably won't. Oh, I like that ink on the edge of this. Something wonderful about a brand new ink pad that's so juicy and yummy and easy to use. Right, I think I'll use glue stick for this. So I'm excited in this new year to get going on this journal. Get it done. It's got a lot that needs doing on it. I haven't done very much to date, but that's good. It's fun, and I do enjoy working with a colour theme. This has definitely got a colour theme going on. Might have to actually go in with tacky glue. It might not stick very well to the acrylic paint on the jelly print, but we'll see. And I do very much like that there. I'm not going to ink it because I think I would end up damaging it, and I think it stands out okay on its own. So we'll just go with it as is. So I'm in that stage of time where it's beginning of the year and I'm busy thinking about how this year's going to play out, what projects I want to do, what are my commitments, what do I want to let go, if anything, what do I want to pick up, if anything, what challenges do I want to run or be a part of or participate in. You know, there's always that sense of anticipation of, you know, what you can fit into the year. And I feel we always try and fit in way too much, and I believe that I am in that category, but won't stop me from trying because I just, you know, it's a whole year. Surely we can fit a lot in. Right, I'm just wondering about whether I've got a word here that might sort of fit up there. I've got like this. I'd have to cut it into two, but it doesn't matter if we don't find anything. Oh, we've got a second one of that tea time. We could go for like a stamp or something. A few little, no, a few little bits and pieces here. There's a really cool key. It's fun, isn't it? But I don't think composition wise it's working how I've laid things out. Feather, that's kind of fun. When I mean kinda, I mean it is fun. I shouldn't say kind of fun, it is fun. Little ticket piece there. No, I like the feather better. I may go with nothing and come back to it because we've got things we need to do. I think I'll leave it for now. I can sort that one out at the end if we've got time or off camera, because I want to make something to fill this pocket. And I have a plan, kind of a loose plan, so we'll see how it goes. Just pop these up here out of my way. So I have in my stash a lavender writing pad. So it's just these pale purple sheets. They are white on the back, which is fine, and they've got this lovely little bouquet of lavender in the corner. And so I thought, how about we make a little notepad or tablet or something where these are layered so you can see the lavender, and then tuck it into the pocket, something along that line. So we want about 4.5 inches, I believe. So let's just put them together. And chop the top off, so we'll go at 4.5. Can always trim it down a bit more. So we have some offcuts that will be fun for another little booklet or something, or turn them into journal cards, collage, whatever. And these ones, I think the width will be fine, as long as when I lay them out I don't go too tall. So I need a cover, which is where the scrapbook paper comes in. So this one's more pinkish, but it definitely has got purple tones if you look at it by itself. Probably my least usable one, because it is, you know, it does give more pink vibes when it's partnered with the purple. So we have this scrap of bunnies, white bunnies and flowers on purple. We've got this double-sided piece, which has got birds and text on one side and lace texture on the other. And then these two bits that are plain white on the back. And then I've got one more that's not purple, but it does have teacups on it. I'll show it to you because it's super cool. Love it. And it's got these little tea canisters as well, and teapots. So I'd like to use bits of that in the journal, even though it's not purple. And it's actually got no purple teacups on it either. Shame, but never mind. And then I've got these 6x6 pads which have some purple pages here and there. So they're going to be too small. That one I don't want for the cover. That will be somewhere else. I am thinking this double-sided one, because the rest are white. So if we made a little, do I want a full cover or do I just want like a strip? Or do I want, no, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. I want this bit because I don't want a headless bird. I don't think, if I can avoid it. So how am I going to do this? I had a plan, but I hadn't worked out how I was actually going to achieve it. So let's first off cut it for the height. And I'll make it slightly, do I need to make it slightly longer or? Maybe slightly long, slightly taller. About there will do. And then I just want a flap here and then the back bit. So let's, oh, I've made a mistake. I did. I made a mistake. How can I fix it? Because these are going to be laid out, not one on top of each other, but slightly off, which means that my height is going to be quite different. Can I turn this around? Doesn't matter if the birds are sideways. That will still work. And maybe I'll put the birds on the inside and then have the lacy bit on the outside. Okay, that'll work. That was a close one. Right, so is this the right height to fit in here? And that would be a no. So we need to trim some off. So let's trim the end that's got the headless bird. Gee, that was indeed a close one. It might have just been going with another piece of paper. Right, how are we going? No, it's still too tall. I could measure it, but hey, we're just making it up as we go along. So I believe that should be enough now, hopefully. Yes. Yep, no, I think that's fine. Right. So probably need to score just for ease. Just gonna dispense with the guide, and we want our paper to sit about there. So if we go, is that going to be too much? no, that will be fine. So I'm going to go about there. No measurements here. I'm just eyeballing everything and working it out. By comparison. Okay. Fold that over top. So this is going to be an opening flap. It's not going to be, well, that's my plan. We shall see how it actually works in practice. So my idea is that these will sit in here, but that you'll be able to lift this up so you've still got all that writing space. That's kind of where I'm heading. But how that plays out in the real world, well, I'm going to have to be careful with my placement here. Down a bit. We could actually trim a little bit more off if we went with that. So maybe I glue it in first and then trim if I need to, just so I don't end up with any mistakes of trimming too much off. Okay, do I need to glue this down? I'm thinking it might actually be better to, in which case I want to trim this down so it's not taking up so much space. Okay. So let's hope I can get those pages back in the right place. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit, this flap. So it's not really a tutorial because I'm just kind of making it up. But hopefully you'll be able to just see, you know, the idea and just go with the flow like I'm kind of. That's a cool little strip. Definitely keep that one. I love this lace pattern. I think it's super pretty. I actually prefer it to the birds. So that tuck in under there. Yep, I think that will work. Right, now how am I going to do this so that they all sit exactly where I want them to? Let's actually tacky glue I think might be a little bit easier. So I'm just going to put a line right along here, right close to the fold line, and holding these how I wanted them, pop them down here. Like so. So that's going to hold them in place, and then I can come in and catch the underneath side so nothing falls out. There, it's that second sheet and our top sheet. I do love a fine nozzled glue bottle for this type of thing. And there. Oh, Snuggles obviously didn't find Kelly because she is back. Yeah, she's long gone, wasn't she, Snuggles? Yeah, good thing too. She doesn't need you bugging her. Right, so now I'm just going to trim off a little bit at the bottom here. Just try and kind of eyeball it to be about the same as what's at the other end. Doesn't matter if it's not precise, that's fine. So we have a little staggered writing tablet. Now this bit, do I want to just glue it down? Do I want to staple it to add in a bit of extra? Just having a look which way. I had anticipated that it would go into the pocket this way, and I think I like that because you can still see the lavender there. Do I actually need the flap? Yeah, why not? Let's just glue it down. Thinking way too much, way too hard about this. So let's just take care of it. And I'm just going to glue it because staples will add extra bulk in that side pocket. So I'm just going to go with the glue. I was thinking about lace and stuff, but again, it will add extra bulk. So, which would be fine if this end was sticking out, but I want it in the pocket. So if you want to further embellish this flap here, then you might want to turn it around so that your pages go into the pocket like that, and this is the bit that you pull. But I want it this way round. And it's up to the person, whoever ends up with this journal can choose whether they want to do it that way or this way. Either way is fine, like it doesn't matter, but for presentation I want it this way round. Okay, so that is my little project. So how are we going on time? Oh, we've got a bit of time, so maybe I'll look at word or something here, and I'm thinking about stamping a word or finding some words. I do have this one. What else have I got? I like looking through stamp sets looking for words. Like we've got smile here, or love. Smile's a good one, I think. Amazing, incredible, awesome. Giving a quick wee hunt here. What about relax and enjoy your day? That's, don't you think that fits with a cup of tea? Relax and enjoy your day. Let's do that. And I think I'm going to do it in purple. In my violet ink. This is a stamp set. It's an old one from Rosie's studio. So I don't know if you can get it anywhere, maybe secondhand. I'm going to have to try and, do I want to stamp it and then cut it out, or do I want to try and compose it? And I might use one of these scraps of this paper that I cut off from the writing paper. Do I want to try and compose it? I'm going to try. I need a wet wipe. A wet wipe at the ready. This packet's almost empty. Let's see how we go. It's the benefit of doing it on a bit of paper. It's like if it goes wrong, you can just start again on a new bit. So let's do relax. And I'll give myself some space to work on the paper. Relax. Oh, there's a bit of faint shadowing there from something last time I've used this stamp. A little bit of black. That's okay. We'll just call it background texture, shall we? Maybe I'll give it a bit of a stamp of oops as well. Right. So now it gets a bit tricky because it's easy doing the words at the beginning and end, but the rest of them are a bit tricky, so I need a post-it note as well. If you haven't seen this technique, it's probably a good one for me to show you anyway, and if you have seen it, well, that's all good and fine. Right, I think I'll tear that in two. So I'm going to put a bit over the words block's a bit wet, so it might not. Actually, do I need to stamp it first? I haven't done it for ages, so I can't actually remember whether you put the post-it notes on first or after. So I'm going to do it this way. So I think I'll do and enjoy. Oops, come on, stay there. Might need a bit of washi tape to try and center it. Pretty good, not perfect, but pretty good. Okay. Not getting a lot of ink off that. Right, and let's go your day, which will be easier because it's at the end, but I still am going to put post-it over there for any other ink transfer that might happen. Right, I need a bit of washi tape. It's not wanting to stick very well. Where there's a will, there's a way. Relax and enjoy your day. Right, hopefully it's straight. I was so worried about spacing vertically that I wasn't looking at whether it was straight or not. That's fine, I can live with that. So using post-it notes to cover over bits of your stamp that you don't want to have stamped out. So quite a simple way. Now I think I'm going to give it a little curvy little sort of random edge here. Make it a little bit fun, and I can cut out that black shadowing from the stamp, and you don't have to worry about getting things straight. You can pop that there, and I think I do want to ink around it as well. It's the same color as the stamping, so hopefully that doesn't look a bit weird. Don't want to go super heavy. Just trying to kiss it with the brush. Just lightly, gently. I'm sitting here and I can hear the neighbour's boy making all sorts of noises, and he's an only child, so he's quite vocal, and sometimes he makes just interesting noises, not actually saying anything, just making vocalizations, and it sounds like that's what he's doing now, and I find it quite amusing. It's cute, it's very cute. Oh, we've got foolish. I like vigor and virtues that are up there, but I'm not sure that I want the word foolish, so we'll just make sure that sits over a part of the foolish. Right, just going in with tacky glue, just because it's easy and clean. And just doesn't have to cover the whole word, just enough, because ish could be on the end of any word, you know, lots of words. Whoops, but how about we, oh no, it's stuck, it's slightly crooked, but that's okay. We can deal with it, we can live with that. Okay, so we have done a side pocket on top of this collaged background, so you can still see details, but it's just now interesting. It's no longer ugly or boring. We've decorated up our pocket, and we've made a little staggered writing tablet out of our writing paper. It looks cool. You could decorate this up, but I like that, and you could actually write on that as well. And this probably wouldn't write on it, but it's got, you know, it is decorated with a bird. And then you can also write on the back of these, even though it's just plain white. It's very writable. So that is my idea for how to deal with some of those pages that it's like, well, what's the point of putting that in a journal? Because what can you do with it? Well, there's one idea. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the idea, and it's maybe given you some other ideas that, you know, you can springboard with in your own creating. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to bringing you the next video. Take care, everybody. See you next time. Bye.